Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be doing an in-depth dive into a historical piece which not many know of. And I'll be doing this discussion based around what is known as the Moors Empire. Now when you look at the Moors Empire, you might analyze the origin of the Moors Empire and you would see that they are of African origin. They are of a black nature. What might that indicate, and what did the Moors conquer? Well, you would see that for one, the Moors actually conquered the good northern part of Africa and Spain and Portugal, which back in 711 AD, when the Spain was conquered by the Moors Empire, you would then see that the descendants of Spain, the country itself, and Portugal are actually descendants and the true people of true Spanish nature, are actually of African culture. Now, where we might see this correlation? Well, for one, Spanish is one of the more derived, more truer expressions of Latin, which means it's a more ancient tongue. But it's been developed in different portions, and through a Northern African influence, took on a more coarser pronunciation. So you might not say that when you look at Spanish, or specifically Northern African, such as Somalian, which is technically of the coastal eastern peninsula of Africa. You might see that in this particular region, the language sounds rather Spanish-like. And you can sort of understand it if you speak Spanish to a certain degree. How did I come upon finding this? Well, for one, I go to a Somalian barber. He cuts the best hair in the entire city. I mean, damn, he does a good job. But as I was listening to him and his other co-workers speak Somalian, I was thinking to myself, man, have I been coming here that often that I can start understanding these guys? Or are they actually speaking a language that I actually understand? And that's where we begin to see the beauty of it. Somalian resembles Spanish in many of its pronunciation and words. Many of its words are of a Spanish root. You could say that Somalian and Spanish are like Spanish and Portuguese, not directly correlated, but they are similar in root. And then you see the rise of the Moors Empire. Where would the Moors have settled, essentially? Well, if you were to now look at the Moors Empire, which settled in parts of Spain, Portugal, where did Spain and Portugal then conquer? Spain took over Mexico and South America. Portugal, possible parts of Africa. But when you look at the actual Spanish Empire, which was of its true origin, being of the Moors origin, the Moors Empire, an African black empire of culture, which took and conquered most parts of the Northern African region of the Northern African continent and southern parts such as Spain and Portugal. So this actually means, if you were to look at now the lineage up, the Spanish lineage of the country, the more you go up the lineage, the more you would see that the people of this particular place of Spain, the more you go up the lineage, you would see the color and the culture become of a darker skin the further up until you arrive at the Moors Empire. And now when you look at the descendants of slightly darker tanned skin with silky black hair, as the descendants of mixtures between European and Moors, black and white, which eventually led to white skin or tanner skin with black hair, with either brown or blue, or, pardon me, not blue, with either brown or green or hazel eyes. And we can see this in the descendants of people that stem from the Morse Empire. Anyways, folks, thank you for coming along to the discussion regarding the Morse Empire. I hope you found that informational. Until next time.